They say some people are born with gifts, others have gifts thrust upon them. I didn't know which I was until the day I saw my first mark. My name is Adaeze, and this is the day my normal life ended. Benue State, December 2024. I'd just finished university, economics degree, bright future ahead, or so I thought. The NYSC orientation camp was exactly what I expected. Dusty, crowded, filled with thousands of confused graduates in ill-fitting white shirts and khaki trousers, all of us pretending we knew what we were doing. At first, I thought it was the heat. The Benue sun can make you see things that aren't there. Mirages on the red dust, shadows that move when they shouldn't. But this wasn't a shadow. On the old woman's arm, where her skin met the fabric of her wrapper, there was something glowing, a symbol. Like the tribal marks my grandmother used to draw in the sand when she told me stories. But this one was alive, moving, shifting like water under moonlight. Cyan light. Beautiful and terrifying. I blinked, hard. The kind of blink where you squeeze your eyes shut and count to 3, praying that when you open them, the world will make sense again. It was still there. And then, just as suddenly as it appeared, it vanished. The woman was normal, ordinary, just another elder walking through the camp, probably visiting a grandchild. But I couldn't shake what I'd seen. That symbol looked exactly like the pottery my grandmother used to make. The sacred pots she'd spend weeks crafting, whispering prayers over the clay. The pots she said carried blessings from the earth itself. My grandmother died when I was 12. She never finished teaching me everything she knew. But I remember her last words to me, whispered from her hospital bed. You have your grandfather's eyes, Ade. The eyes that see what others miss. I was 12. I thought she meant I was observant, good at noticing details. I had no idea what she really meant. Not until that day in Benue.
Welcome home to Tales from the Baobab, where wisdom lives in stories.
That night, I couldn't sleep. Every time I closed my eyes, I saw that symbol, glowing, pulsing. My roommate, Chioma, invited me to the village markets the next morning. Fresh air will help, she said. If only. The moment I stepped into that market, I saw her again. The old woman, selling tomatoes and peppers. And on her arm, that symbol was back. But this time, I wasn't just seeing it, I was hearing it. A low hum, a frequency you feel in your chest more than hear. And she wasn't the only one. A man had chains glowing around his wrists. A young woman had fading symbols on her shoulders. A child had marks that looked like they were burning. The world tilted. My legs carried me forward without permission, straight toward the old woman. She looked up. In her eyes, I saw recognition. You can see it, can't you? She whispered in Igbo. The mark on my arm. You have the sight. The sight? My grandmother used to use that word. I don't understand, I said. Her eyes filled with tears. I've carried this mark my entire life. My mother had it. Her mother before her. A curse. A punishment. But we never knew why. My hand reached out. Instinct. Madness. The moment my fingers touched her arm, the world disappeared.
I was standing in a village, but not now. This was older. October 1st, 1960, Independence Day. I could see a young woman, barely 20, holding a baby. The old woman from the market, 60 years younger. Her father stood nearby, holding a clay pot covered in sacred symbols. "This pot holds our village's blessings," he said in Old Igbo. "As long as it remains in the shrine, our farms will flourish. It must never leave." But I could hear chaos in the distance. Independence celebrations turning to riots. A man, desperate and afraid, ran into the shrine. The young woman's grandfather. He gasped, "Forgive me, ancestors. My daughter is starving. I must leave. I need something to sell." He grabbed the pot, wrapped it, ran. Behind him, a priestess discovered the theft. Her scream echoed. "The pot is gone. The land will remember this betrayal." Then I saw what happened next. Years of drought. Crops withering. Children growing thin. Mothers crying. Generation after generation. That village suffered. All because of one stolen pot. The vision shifted. The pot was passed down. Hidden. Forgotten. Its purpose lost. But the debt remained. Glowing. Waiting.
I gasped. Back in the market, on my knees, the old woman, Mrs. Okunko, was crying. "You saw it," she whispered. Everything made sense. The symbol was a spiritual ledger entry. Her family owed a debt they'd been paying for without knowing why. "Your farm never produces well, does it?" I said. She stared. "How did you know? Every year the harvest fails. My grandchildren go hungry." "I know why," I said, "and I know how to fix it." The pot was still in her family, hidden in her mother's room. We traveled 3 hours through bush paths to the original village. At dawn, an ancient priest was waiting. "We have waited 60 years for this pot to return," he said. Mrs. Okunkwa knelt, holding the pot above her head. I returned what my grandfather stole. I begged forgiveness on behalf of my bloodline. The priest placed the pot back on the shrine. The moment it touched stone, the mark on her arm dissolved, cyan light breaking into particles that floated away like fireflies. She sobbed, deep, shaking sobs of relief. The village erupted in celebration. After 60 years, the debt was paid. I stood apart, watching. For the first time since I'd seen that mark, I felt purpose. Maybe this gift wasn't just a burden. I turned to leave, and that's when I looked down at my shadow. There, on my shadow's ankle, was a mark. Small, faint, but unmistakably there, glowing cyan. No, why do I have a mark now? "You have the sight, child." I spun. The priest stood behind me. "What's happening to me?" His ancient eyes held pity. "Your grandfather was Adaeze, yes?" My heart stopped. "How did you know?" "He had the sight too. Tried to settle debts across Nigeria. Thought he could fix what was broken. He settled 99 debts. Then he died, trying to settle the 100th. The priest's voice dropped. "Every seer has their own debt, the debt they were born owing. When you see a debt and choose to settle it, the spirits notice. They show you more. Each debt you settle adds to your burden until you settle the one that matters most, your own." I looked at my shadow. The mark was pulsing. You'll see marks on everyone now, hundreds, thousands, and you decide whether to help or walk away. And if I walk away, you'll lose the gift, return to normal life. He began walking away. "But I don't think you will, Adaeze. You have your grandfather's heart." He paused. "You have a gift or a curse. Usually they're the same thing." Then he was gone. I returned to camp days later, told Chioma I had food poisoning. But everywhere I looked now, I saw them, the marks, dozens, hundreds. I tried to ignore them, pretend everything was normal, but nothing was normal anymore. That night, my phone buzzed. My mother. Ada, I found your grandfather's things. There's a book, a ledger. It has your name in it. The ledger, his record of every debt, every story, and the truth about his own debt, the one I'd inherited. I looked at my shadow. The mark was bigger now. I didn't know how much time I had before this mark consumed me, but I knew one thing. Mrs. Okonkwa's smile when that mark dissolved, that feeling of setting something right, that was worth whatever price I'd have to pay. My grandmother said some debts pass through blood, that some people are born to collect them. I finally understood. My name is Adaeze. I came to Benue for national service. I didn't know I was about to start serving something much older. I am a debt collector, and this is just the beginning.